السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. الدرس الأول من كتاب الثاني. So now we have reached Medina book 2, and this is lesson 1 from Medina book 2. So inshallah ta'ala, what I will do, I'll read through the dialogue first, and then we'll start to discuss the rules that are within this lesson inshallah ta'ala. فنبدأ بهاشم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. المدرس: وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. هاشم: كيف حالك يا أستاذ؟ لعلك بخير. المدرس: الحمد لله. وكيف حالك أنت يا هاشم؟ أنا أحبك كثيرا يا هاشم، إنك طالب ذكي ومجتهد وذو خلق. أمن باكستان أنت أم من الهند يا هاشم؟ يا هاشم: إني من الهند. المدرس: وزميلك الذي خرج معك الآن من الفصل أهو أيضا من الهند؟ هاشم: لا، إنه من باكستان. المدرس: إن ساعتك جميلة يا هاشم، أمن اليابان هي؟ هاشم: لا، إنها من الهند. المدرس: أغالية هي أم رخيصة؟ هاشم: إنها رخيصة جدا، إنها ب100 روبية فقط. المدرس: كم أخا لك يا هاشم؟ هاشم: لي 3 إخوة. المدرس: أطلاب هم؟ هاشم: لا، إنهم تجار. المدرس: وكم أختا لك؟ هاشم: لي 4 أخوات. المدرس: أفي الهند هن الآن؟ هاشم: لا، إنهن هنا بالمدينة المنورة مع أبي وأمي. المدرس: أطالبات هن؟ هاشم: لا، إنهن مدرسات بالمدرسة الثانوية. طيب. So inshallah ta'ala, as you know, at this level we don't translate the dialogues, and you should understand them. Inshallah, try to translate them yourself. Also, if you have questions or want to attempt translation of these dialogues and post them to the Facebook group, then we will check them for you, inshallah, check that you have understood the text correctly. Now, alhamdulillah, within this lesson, we start to learn about some factors within the Arabic language that affect the nominal sentence. What do I mean by a nominal sentence? A sentence that starts with a noun, okay? A sentence that starts with a noun. And of those things that we come to learn in this dialogue, in this lesson, is inna, okay? Inna, as I just highlight it within the dialogue, wherever we see it used. So we have innaka huna, and we have inni, and innahu, inna, innaha, 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 okay? Innahunna, innahum, innahunna, okay? Now, inna is used as a particle of emphasis. It emphasizes something within the Arabic language. Now, it's attached to either a pronoun or a noun. So, for example, in this sentence here, it says, inna sa'ataka. So here we have 2 words anyway. We have ka and sa'atun. Okay. But as you can see, inna affects the noun that comes after it and makes it take fatha. Inna sa'ata plus ka, your watch. The ka doesn't change because that's a fixed pronoun. So inna sa'ataka, it means indeed, verily, your watch, or your watch indeed is surely whatever it says after it. Jamilatun. Jamilatun, which is going to be the khabar, as we learned about previously. Jamilatun, the information about the watch. Okay. Inna sa'ataka, indeed your watch, what about it? Is beautiful, is a beautiful one. So we translate that as is beautiful. Okay. So inna, when the noun that comes after inna takes fatha. And I'll give you some more examples now. If I said, for example, inna Muhammadun, dan or din, Muhammadan comes after inna. What about him? We're going to say talibun. Indeed, Muhammad is a talib, is a student. Okay. So whatever comes after the inna, it takes fatha. But also we learn and we see that sometimes what comes after inna is a pronoun. So if I said, for example, huwa, sorry, wrong way round. Huwa talibun. Huwa talibun. Now I'm going to say innahu. Okay, this joins now. This joins the inna, becomes innahu. We show you the attached pronoun. Innahu talibun. Innahu talibun. Okay, innahu talibun. And we're going to see this within the exercises to come, insha'Allah ta'ala. Just so you can see here, ajib and al-as'ilat al-atiya. This is comprehension of this text, this dialogue. Answer the following questions. So look at the dialogue and the questions and answer them based on what the information is within these dialogues, inshallah ta'ala. So next exercise, just here it says ضع هذه العلامة صحيح أمام الجملة الصحيحة وهذه العلامة خطأ أمام الجملة التي ليست صحيحة. So place the correct sign regarding those sentences that are either correct or incorrect based on the dialogue that we previously saw. Okay, then we have تأمل ما يلي. تأمل ما يلي. تأمل ما يلي. Ponder over that which is coming. Okay, the following thing. And this is showing you now how inna is used with pronouns. The isolated pronoun, when it comes after inna, it becomes a connected pronoun. As we can see here, inna plus huwa equals innahu. Inna plus hiya equals innaha. Inna plus anta innaka. This is something you have to read continuously, write out a few times until you memorize it, inshallah. And for example, now you got to practice. See this, read this exercise number 3. Read this and apply it now to exercise number 4. أدخل إن على الجملة الآتية. Put inna in the following sentences. And inna only comes at the beginning of the sentence. It can only come at the beginning of the sentence. Then we have exercise number 5 right here. اقرأ الأمثلة الآتية. Read the following examples. المدرس جديد. إن المدرس جديد. فاطمة طبيبة. إن فاطمة طبيبة. حامد متزوج. إن حامدا متزوج. So now we can look at what I mentioned previously. What happens with inna? So let's just write حامد. We have حامد. Okay, حامد متزوج. متزوج. Okay, Hamid is married. Okay, now this is a normal sentence. This is just a normal sentence. But now if I add inna, this is going to emphasize, no, surely Hamid is married. Like, indeed, verily he's married. So, but what happens when I add inna? So let's say inna is in blue. Okay, the noun that inna affects, we're going to put in red. Inna hamidan. Okay, whatever comes after inna is mansoob. Mansoob is a terminology we need to get familiar with as we go along, inshallah. Mansoobun, it is mansoob, it means it takes the fatha. It's in the accused case. It takes fatha. And that's the original sign. There's other signs as we'll come to learn throughout our studies. This will all become clear, inshallah. But let's memorize this terminology for now. The word that comes after inna is mansoob, because inna makes the word that comes after it mansoob. Now, what is the sign of it being mansoob? The sign is fathatain. The fatha, okay? Okay, now what's the last part of this sentence? Inna hamidun. Inna hamidan. What about him? Mutazawwijun. Okay? Nothing affects this part of the sentences. Nothing affects this part of the sentence. Inna hamidan mutazawwijun. So this is not affected. However, what do we call these nouns? Hamid is called ismu inna. Then the noun that comes after inna is called ismu inna. So this is the noun that's been affected by inna. Then this is called khabaru inna. Okay, because before this was just called Hamid, was just the mubtada. In this sentence here, this was al-mubtada'u, and remember that means the subject, al-mubtada'u, and this was al-khabaru. the predicate. Okay, but now when we have inna, the mubtada is now called ismu inna, and the khabar is called khabaru inna. And that's just the changes that occur on the nominal sentence. This is a feature that affects the sentence that starts with a noun. Okay, now what they want you to do, exercise number 6 here, practice these same rules and apply it to these following sentences, inshallah ta'ala. And as you can see right here, just what I just explained, it says right here, السيارة جميلة المبتدأ الخبر إن السيارة اسم إن. السيارة becomes اسم إن, جميلة becomes خبر إن. But as you can see here, it was dhamma, but now it is fatha. Okay, that's just a point to be aware of regarding this lesson, inshallah ta'ala. Then we have تأمل المثالين ثم كون جملا مثلهما من الكلمات الآتية. Ponder over the two examples right here, these two examples, and then form sentences just like it. So this is when we use the either or, and this is asking questions with hamza. As you can see, hamza here, and an am, which means or. So am min al-Hindi anta am min Pakistan. Are you from India? Is it India that you're from, or Pakistan? Atabibun anta am muhandisun. Are you a doctor? Is it a doctor you are, or an engineer? So here, what we do when we add the hamza for asking a question and the am, you're going to mention the khabar first, the information, and then the one you're speaking about. So for example, this one, we do number 1 for you, and then you're going to apply it for the next one, and there's more sentences on the following page, inshallah. So here, amujtahidun anta am kaslanu. So if you write that down, okay, amujtahidun. Amujtahidun anta am kaslanu. Am kaslanu. Am mujtahidun anta am kaslanu. So you're going to follow the same pattern in answering the next questions bi'ithnillahi ta'ala. So as I mentioned, this is a continuation of those exercises, the exercise from the previous page up until the 10th sentence, inshallah. Then we have تأمل الأمثلة الآتية لذو. So ponder over the following examples for ذو. Okay, ذو, it always comes as mudaf ilay, which is lesson 5 of Medina book 1. So if you don't remember this, go back to lesson 5 Medina book 1. Mudaf ilay. The noun that comes after it has to take what? Kasra. Okay, but ذو, what does ذو mean? ذو means the one who has, ay sahibu, yani companion of. So if I said, for example, ذو خلق, okay, ذو خلق. If I said هذا الرجل ذو خلق, that means literally this man has good manners. He possesses manners. يعني ذو بمعنى صاحب, companion of خلق. ذو خلق صاحب خلق, i.e. a companion of manners. Okay, that's how we use ذو. So read through these following examples, inshallah, to see how it's used, and translate them. Make sure you know all the words. Always make sure you know all the vocab that's being used, and then apply that knowledge to exercise number 9, inshallah ta'ala. هذا طالب ذو خلق. That's the examples. Then you're going to apply that now, inshallah ta'ala. هذا الرجل ذو مال كثير, and make it plural. Okay, هذا الطالب ذو خلق هؤلاء طلاب ذو خلق. So the plural of ذو is ذو, and ذات is the feminine. Okay, هذه right here, هذه الطالبة ذات خلق. So it changes for gender. هؤلاء الطالبات ذوات. Okay, so just apply this. Make this sentence here, هذا الرجل ذو مال كثير, change it to plural of rajul, and then make it feminine. Okay, make it feminine. What's the word for a woman? You have to remember that. And then what's the plural for women? It changes. So apply that rule to the following exercise, inshallah ta'ala. Then it says, number 10. Number 10 over here. أدخل لعل على الجمل الآتية علما بأن لعل من أخوات إن. So enter لعل upon the following sentences whilst paying attention to being aware that لعل is from the sisters of إن. لعل is from the sisters of إن. Okay. Then it mentioned. Okay, what does لعل mean? Inna, as I mentioned to you, is to emphasize something, means tawkeed. But as for la'alla, this means I hope. I hope. So if I said la'allaka bi khair, I hope you are good. That's how we use it. It means like arjuka. La'allaka arjuka. This is the same kind of meaning. However, it's from the sisters of inna. What does that mean? The same rule applies. I.e., the noun that comes directly after it is mansoob. It takes fatha and is now called ismu la'alla and not the mubtada. And the khabar is marfu', it stays as dhamma, and it's called khabaru la'alla. Just as we had inna, ismu inna, wa khabaru inna in the beginning of this lesson, inshallah. Okay. Then we have here, اقرأ, exercise number 11, اقرأ المثالين ثم أكمل الجمل الآتية بوضع غال أو غالية في الأماكن الخالية. So it mentions here, ألف, هذا القلم غال, أصله غالي. So you have nouns like this. There's not many, there's a few of them, that the asl is ghaliyun. And so, because this is somewhat long, they say ghalin instead. And the only time that the ya comes back is when you make it feminine, when it becomes ghaliyatun. Okay? So it says al-kutub al-arabiyyatu. This is feminine. So what's this going to be? Ghalin or ghaliyatun? You have to choose and fill in the blanks regarding these sentences, inshallah, using ghalin or ghaliyatun. Okay. Then we have exercise number 12. اقرأ المثالين ثم اقرأ الجملة الآتية بعد ذلك اكتبها مع كتابة الأعداد الواردة فيها بالحروف. So it mentions this exercise is going to continue the next page. It says here is 100. مية رجل ومية امرأة. So we've learned different rules for numbers so far. As for this one, okay, 100 is used as mudaf ilay, okay, and it doesn't change based on gender. It doesn't matter what comes after it. The noun you're counting is singular indefinite. As we can see, it ends in so as I was mentioning, you have miyatu, which is written like this, okay, miyatu, and sometimes it's written like this as well. It's not a problem. Either way, you can do both. What the noun that you're counting, this means 100, okay? Whatever you're counting is singular indefinite. So it'd be miyatu talibin, 100 students, or feminine. It's not gender. It doesn't change based on gender, this number, okay? Now the same occurs with alfu, and the sign for 100 is this, okay? Alf is this, alfu, exactly the same. It's going to be mudaf ilay, alfu rajulin, for example, or imra'atin, which means a woman. Okay, so alfu rajulin, alfu imra'atin, and it's used as mudaf ilay. And now you need to apply that rule to these sentences here, okay? The number that is written as a number, you need to write it as a word. So these numbers, you need to now write them as words, as miyatu or alfu, depending on the sentence, inshallah, and not leave it as a number. Then the last thing in this lesson is كون جملا مستعملا كلمات الآتية. Make some sentences of your own using these words, inshallah ta'ala. Okay? Using these words to make your own sentences. And then we have al-kalimat al-jadida, the new words. Make sure you always are aware of the meaning of the new words within each lesson. Jazakum Allahu khairan, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Keep working hard, loving the progress, and inshallah ta'ala, we're going to get there. One way or the other, keep pushing hard. Any questions, you already know what to do. Don't be shy to ask. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.